Coming up in the morning edition, Prime Minister Minnis has the last say on the budget in the House. Tourism chief addresses Western Air deal. And PAHO educates on non-communicable diseases.
Good morning, Bahamas. Make the best of this day as you will never see it again. I'm LaDawn Davis. Thanks for waking up to the morning edition. First things first, though, let's check in with one-of-a-kind weatherman, Basil Dean, to see what's happening out there in the tropics. Good morning, Basil.
Good morning, LaDawn. The tropics remain quiet, still have that upper level sharing taking place, which is keeping the lid on development. But taking a look at our ZNS tower cam, it is showing just a few clouds floating out there, and that's because an area of high pressure will dominate our weather over the next several days. We'll tell you more about that later in the newscast. Satellite pictures are showing just a little troughing over the extreme northwest Bahamas, so Grand Bahama, Northern Abaco, while you can get some showers later on today as well. Outside of our studios, partly cloudy skies, temperatures 79 degrees, relative humidity 88%. The winds are out of the south at 7 miles per hour. Your barometric pressure 1,017.0 millibars, that's 30.03 inches, and it is steady. Temperatures around the islands this morning: Marsh Harbor 78, also Greenville, Key, and Freeport reporting 78 degrees. The Berry Islands at 82, 83 in Allenstown, Bimini, Harbor Island 81, Rock Sandy, Lutra, Otterstown, Cat Island 81 degrees, 80 in Staniel Key, Kemps Bay, St. Andrews, also Fresh Creek and Central Andrews at 81 degrees. San Salvador and Rum Key 81 degrees as we take you into Ragged Island, Clarence Town, Long Island, Crooked Island, Betsy Bay, and Acklands, all at 81, 83 degrees in Matthew Town, Inagua, Turks and Caicos Islands at 82 degrees. And your boating forecast for today in the northwestern islands: winds southeast to south 10 to 15 knots, waves high 2 to 4 feet. High tide, that will take place at 9:43 this morning. Low tide, 3:43 in the afternoon. For the central Bahamas, the winds are a little stronger, southeast at 12 to 18 knots, wave heights 3 to 6 feet with a moderate chop. And for the southeast Bahamas, stronger still at 15 to 20 knots out of the southeast. Caution flags are up for your boaters in the southeast Bahamas. Those wave heights, they're going to be around 4 to 7 feet. That's going to do it for your first look at weather in the morning edition. Stay tuned. Your forecast for today and tonight still ahead.
Thanks, Basil. Jiminy Swain and the traffic team are out on our streets ready with the Bahamas First Traffic Report.
The Traffic Report is sponsored by Bahamas First. First in insurance, today, tomorrow.
Good morning, LaDawn, and good morning, Bahamas. We're coming to you live from the intersection of Blue Hill and Carmichael Road. Busy area of the island, traffic-wise, as always, even though most schools seem to be closing down. But joining me now to talk about what's happening traffic-wise on the streets is, of course, Corporal Decory Barr of the Police Traffic Division. Good morning, Corporal Barr.
Good morning, Jiminita. Good morning, Bahamas.
Now, I know that we were in the Milo Butler area yesterday, and I think you said that there are some changes taking place, again, that motorists may need to keep in mind.
Yes, yesterday, after we would have left that location, they continued with the road works. The northbound right lane is now being worked on, so it's going to create some more congestions in that area. Again, we're going to ask motorists who want to use that corridor to exercise patience while commuting through that area. We don't want to, I guess, hinder the work process from what they're about to do.
The quicker the better they clear that up. I'm sure motorists or residents in those areas would appreciate that. And this area, as we often call it sometimes City 2000, is one of those areas that's usually busy. Even now we see a lot of traffic slowly building up. Any concerns in this particular area with motorists moving through beyond the jitney drivers?
Again, we always have a high volume of traffic coming out of the southern district, southwestern district. It is a residential area, mainly a residential area. So we have a lot of high volume of traffic traveling through here. Even with the closure of the schools, we'd want to ask persons still to exercise patience while commuting through this area. Also, distracted driving, those minor 30-second distractions is also play a big role in the traffic congestion.
Well, that is, of course, Corporal Decory Barr of the Police Traffic Division. Again, roadworks are continuing in the Milo Butler corridor, so if you do have to use that area, give yourself some extra time to get where you need to go. Definitely no texting and driving, and wear your seatbelts. Back to you in Studio LaDawn.
Thanks, Jimmy. Now on to our top story this morning. Government keeping its commitment to ensure that young people gain meaningful employment and learn adequate skills. The Most Honorable Dr. Hubert Minnis, Prime Minister, revealed in his budget contribution in the House of Assembly yesterday that hundreds of youth have been taking advantage of the programs available at the National Training Agency.
The National Training Agency has trained 1,640 vulnerable young Bahamians in basic life skills and technical skills. I wish to emphasize that the agency's core focus is on youth between the ages of 16 and 30 who are unemployed and unprepared for the workforce. These, for the most part, are individuals from the inner city, 55% job placement rate. We are projecting to increase this to 70%. We are working closely with Royal Caribbean Cruise Lines and has already placed 200 young Bahamians in full-time job positions.
Prior to the passing of the 2019-2020 national budget early this morning, Member of Parliament for Central Grand Bahama, Iram Lewis, painted a hopeful picture of what might be in an ideal Bahamas. In that landscape, the parliamentary secretary envisioned a physically connected Bahamas, beginning with Grand Bahama and Abaco.
If you link Abaco and Grand Bahama together, you instantly create 200 miles of delightful island appeal. There is enormous potential in such a venture. I believe that a Abaco bridge will expand commerce and broaden opportunities for innovative Bahamian entrepreneurs, he said, citing the container port, harbor, airport, and oil storage facilities available in Grand Bahama. And Bristol said if the bridge is constructed, citizens of Abaco will be able to utilize them to their advantage.
Tourism and Aviation Minister, the Honorable Dionisio de Aguilar, slamming the former aviation minister for a rental agreement with Western Air from 2017, which he says was simply a bad deal. While noting that nothing untoward was done, he explains why the agreement came to his attention. The move of staff from trailers to the Western Air terminal was signed off under the former administration. This is what he told reporters sometime this week.
The first thing was that these trailers deteriorated. She came into office in 2012 and they got worse and worse and worse until 2015 when the staff said enough and they walked out of the trailers and refused to work in those trailers anymore. So they looked around and of course sitting right there was the Western Air Terminal. She asked and the Rolls agreed that they could move into that facility. The Rolls said that the rent is $5 per square foot per month. So you take 5 and multiply it by 12, you get to $60 a square foot. There's no disagreement on that. The Rolls and the government agree that it's $60 a square foot. And if you look at the instructions that was given to the Airport Authority by the Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Transport, from the Minister of Transport, it said in that instruction, we know that if you charge $25 a square foot, it would be $75,000+ a year. But we're instructing you to override that and pay them $60 a square foot, which equates to $183,000 a year. That's what was done.
Meanwhile, President of the Bahamas Union of Teachers, Belinda Wilson, telling ZNS News that making homeownership a reality for teachers is still in the pipeline. Wilson says it's been on the drawing board for a while, and she is hoping to make the incentive happen for her members before the end of her 5th three-year term.
I didn't tell you this, but what is still on the table is that housing subdivision. So I would have sent a letter to the powers that be just as a reminder on Wednesday that we are still interested in the land and that we would like to get the land sooner than later because we don't want to lose the persons who've already committed to finance the project for us.
Meanwhile, the Pan American Health Organization beefing up its efforts to educate Bahamians about the impact of a number of non-communicable diseases affecting many Bahamian families. PAHO Representative Esther de Gorville revealing to ZNS News a number of initiatives planned to inform the public on the diseases and what measures to consider to avoid becoming a statistic.
We will be trying to raise awareness on diabetes, on breast cancer, and childhood obesity in the coming months. We also have quite a significant interest in the risks to health brought about by climate change. And we are trying to work with stakeholders such as the Ministry of the Environment, Ministry of Health, and others to raise awareness. In the month of December, we will celebrate World Health Day, and we will also be celebrating the 117th anniversary of the Pan American Health Organization.
Let's take a break here, but when we return, a bevy of beauties, so stay close.
Watching the morning edition is very, very good. You get to it, for an example, when it comes to the weather, we get to know what's happening in the Bahamas with the weather. We are in a hurricane season, so I think everyone should watch the weather report to know what's happening in the Bahamas, and I enjoy watching.
Welcome back to the morning edition. The road to Miss Bahamas Teenager 2019 is well on the way. We have a bevy of beauties here with us this morning, all vying for that crown. Along with them are Nishka Lockhart, President, Miss Bahamas Teenager Organization, and Shani Fanward, Miss Bahamas Teenager 2018. Welcome all to the morning edition.
Good morning, LaDawn.
So each of you, tell us who you are.
Shawnell Nixon, Miss Bahamas Teenager, Eleuthera Islands, proudly sponsored by Leisure Travel and Tours, Deja Vu Beauty Supplies, Janae's Uniform Center, and my family and friends.
Good morning, Bahamas. My name is Amani Stewart. I am Miss Bahamas Teenager New Providence, and I am proudly sponsored by Bahamas Luxury Transportation and Salon 360 Beauty.
Good morning, Bahamas. My name is Rakia Ellis. I am Miss Bahamas Teenager Exuma, and I am sponsored by Family and Friends.
Good morning, Bahamas. I am Rihanna Ellis, Miss Bahamas Teenager Paradise Island, and I am sponsored by Fox Foundation. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Lashante Roca. I am Miss Bahamas Teenager Cat Island, and I'm proudly sponsored by my mother. Thank you.
Good morning. I am Kayla Culmer, Miss Bahamas Teenager Long Island, and I am proudly sponsored by Friends, Family, and the Long Islanders Association. Thank you.
Okay, Shani, I know that you're coming to the end of your reign, perhaps. Talk to me a little bit about what has the past year been like for you.
It's been amazing, and I take this as a learning experience, and I had the privilege to represent my country, and I'm very proud of that.
What have you enjoyed most about your reign?
Well, I met a lot of new people. I got gigs, and it was good. I trained, and it was awesome.
Anishka, so tell us what is actually on the road for these young ladies once they, I guess, go to the pageant and then become, I guess, victorious, becoming Miss Bahamas Teenager. What can they expect?
Okay, to become Miss Bahamas Teenager, it comes with a lot of work. Behind it, you have to be community service oriented. The girls has been doing a lot of community service work. Coming up this weekend, they have their judges interview and private swimsuit competition with the judges, because that's private, they're teenagers. They just had their preliminaries on Sunday for evening gown and sportswear, and so that was, one of the prelims just before the costume and right after the costume and talent, excuse me. But in order to become Miss Bahamas Teenager, you have to be articulate, you have to be organized, because anything can happen at any time with one phone call. So you have to be prepared, and that's what we've been doing for the past 8 months. They were in training from October 2018 to this current time.
And what are some of the prizes the lucky, young lady will receive?
Well, right now, I would say the biggest prizes for them is our international scholarships. So I can't wait to announce who have gotten what on pageant night.
And speaking of pageant night,
pageant night, it's June 30th, 2019 at Super Club Breezes. So be there. It starts at 8 p.m.
And is this the first year for the Miss Bahamas Teenager?
No, Miss Bahamas Teenager has been around since 2013.
And you're excited about it?
I'm ecstatic about this race. This race is really tough.
Anishka, Shani, and ladies, thank you guys so much for joining us here on the Morning Edition, and best of luck on your endeavors.
Thank you, Lidon.
And when we come back, sports is up next with Charles Fisher. You're watching the Morning Edition.
Well, good morning and welcome to Sports Thursday. What a treat we have for you this morning. You know, this is a busy weekend with lots of nationals on the agenda, baseball, swimming, and all of those stuff. So I got to get in shape this weekend. Treasure Wilson and Cameron Russell, they are from W Squared Dance Company, and they are here in studio this morning, and they have me all fitted out with my tutu and everything. Treasure and Cameron, welcome to the morning edition.
Thank you.
So tell us about ballet and your school, W Squared.
Well, ballet, it's a sport. Well, we consider it as a sport as dancers. We love it, and we just find it as a way to express our feelings, and it keeps us fit all year round.
It also helps with our mental health and like exposure, big opportunities, and like scholarships. So
How long have you been dancing?
3 years.
3 years.
3
Both of
years.
us.
And where's this school located?
Off Joe Ponte Road.
Okay, and any productions coming up or big shows that we can be interested in?
Actually, yes, we're having a show
Sunday.
Yes, for String City Violinists. It's based on a Disney theme, so it's very exciting.
And what are some other things that ballet is good for? I know that some NBA players and professional athletes use it to mentally get ready and to balance.
Yes,
and flexibility.
Fitness. It keeps us, as I said, fit all year round, and it just allows us to be us.
So, do I look like a person that's fit and ready to do some ballet?
No, I don't think so.
Let's put these mics aside and let these girls do some routines here. First of all, you were telling me the way to stand up. What is this we're doing? What? Fifth position. Why is that called the fifth position? Okay, what else? What other position? This is the first. Second. Third. And fourth. Okay, so I'm ready for this. I have 4 daughters, so I'll be teaching them some stuff when I go home later on this afternoon. Any routine we're going to do this morning? So let's see if we can get some music in and let's start.
I keep fighting voices in my mind that say I'm not enough. Every single lie that tells me I will never measure up. Am I more than just the sum of every high and every low? Remind me once again just who I am, because I need to know. Ooh, oh, you say I'm loved when I can't feel a thing. You say I'm strong when I think I'm weak. And you say I am held when I am falling short. And when I don't belong, oh, you say I am yours. And I believe.
Thank you, ladies, so much for joining me on the morning edition this morning. Now it's the showstopper.
In our final look at whether the tropics remain quiet, we continue to have the upper level sharing, and that is always good in terms of keeping a lid on development of tropical cyclone. Our satellite picture showing near clear skies over most of the Bahamas, save for the extreme northwest Bahamas. Still have some troughing there around Grand Bahama and Northern Abaco, which can trigger 1 or 2 showers there. But elsewhere, we're looking for mostly sunny during the daytime. Our forecast for today, partly sunny and hot. The high temperature getting up to 89 degrees. That heat index somewhere around 102 degrees today. So a very, very hot day shaping up for you. Tonight, we're looking at just a few clouds, still on the warm side. Low temperature getting down to 78 degrees. And your extended weather forecast, lots of sunshine in our forecast, heading right through the weekend and the first part of next week. But by the middle of next week, we're looking for some more heavy showers to find its way back into our forecast. So, Dawn?
Thank you so much, Basil. And that's a wrap for us for today. Make sure to join us right here tomorrow at 7 a.m. sharp. For the Morning Edition Early Morning Crew, I'm LaDawn Davis. Make it a great day, everyone.
No, Mama, we ain't gonna rake and scrape. We can clean the house just like you say. That's right, right? Yeah, that's right. We ain't rake and scrape. All right, now. Mama don't like no raking and scraping in here. Mama don't like no raking and scraping in here.